everyone. Welcome to the show. We got another great edition of Bring It in the House podcast show where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. Get your meal. And of course, I'm your host, Millie Mills. I haven't been here in a while, so hey, it feels good to be here live. Hello, everybody out there. Oh yeah. I had to silence my phone because it'll start beep beep beep, all that stuff going off. But yeah, Bring It in the House is a 30-minute podcast show where we spotlight musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. And of course, I'm your host, Millie Mills. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Ramil, my daughter. This new look is courtesy of Ramil. She's a content creator and she does lots of fashions and styles and updos, facials. She does. It shows you the latest cleaning products. She does it all. But without further ado, guys, I'm so excited because I had the privilege to meet a gentleman last week at church. We attend the same church together. He is a 9-time published poet, author, right here in Austin, Texas. Let's give it up for Mr. E.B. Staples. I had the privilege to meet him at Shoreline Church. So it's a lot of great things happen, right around you. Sometimes you don't even know. And Mr. Staples, and of course, the co-host, Miss Nadine Flowers, they hosted an event right in Round Rock. Round Rock is a suburb of Austin, and it's called Poetry in Motion. So I got a chance to go out there and get some live footage today. Poetry in Motion. Yeah, at the Austin Public Library. I mean, not Austin, but Round Rock Public Library. Round Rock, like I said, is a subsidiary of Austin. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting show because Mr. Staples, of course, and his lovely wife, Sharon, she's his manager. Shout out to managers because I know you work hard to keep him busy. But yeah, um, Mr. Staples is an extraordinary, inspirational poet, and so is Miss Nadine Flowers. So we're gonna, just I'm excited and honored to be able to speak with them. I got little different snippets. This is just raw footage, very little editing done, just simply raw. Without further ado, let's take a look at some of the clips that I was able to get today at Poetry in Motion at the Round Rock Public Library near Austin. Here's a sample of Mr. E.B. Staples right here doing a little poetry. Love it. Let's get it going. Okay. Make sure this is able to run it. Okay. Alrighty. Might be going through a little technical difficulties here, but I believe we'll get this going here shortly. Let's see here. Here goes. Interview. None of my film is working right now. Okay, so we'll just go back and try to reload them again. Let's see what we can do here. Do a reload. Okay, let's see. Get this going here. Thank you guys so much for your patience. Now let's see. We're gonna do a sample of his poem. Let's see if they'll open this time. For some reason, let's see. Not sure why they're not opening right now. I thought this would be easy. Okay, at this stage. Here we go. 3, 2. I loaded them all before I came on, so we're going to try this again, okay? Sorry about the technical difficulties. Let's try it from the top. We're going to do the load the videos and see. Here's a sample of Mr. E.B. Staples.
He painted the horizon blue just for you. The Lord is gracious and true. His blessings roll in like the waves of the sea. He dispatches his army of stars out each night. He counts them off, calls each by name, gives each their light. The Lord orchestrates the heavens in perfect harmony. He makes harmonies and discords. He rewards those who love him and obey his ways. He gives us the grace to prosper and lengthen our days. He energizes those who are exhausted, gives strength to the weak and faint-hearted. He is the very breath of life, a gift we receive. We proclaim his name in every breath that we breathe. He does not tire or pause to catch his breath. The Lord does not come and go. He is forever present. His word stands forever and true and firm. His grace is a gift we did not earn. Who can compare to the unconquerable? Can anyone tell God what?
Okay, so that was just a little sample of, he's doing his poetry, Mr. Staples. Now he likes to have music, as you can see, music accents his poetry, which is a beautiful thing, and this is all spiritual. Let's see, can we fast forward though to the interview that I did with Mr. Staples? Let's see, here it is. We're going to open up the interview and check this out. Mr. E.B. Staples. Everyone, it's Millie Mills with Bring It in the House podcast show, and I'm here at Poetry in Motion, and I see him as an iconic figure here in Austin, legendary author. I'm so pleased to meet him. This is Mr. E.B. Staples. Woo!
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Yay. Mr. Staples, how did all of this start for you?
Well, actually, what part? The poetry or Round Rock?
First of all, you're author first, right?
Right.
Okay, so how did you start writing, like in high school, college?
Exactly. I started writing poetry in high school. Mm-hmm. And a matter of fact, I had a collection of poems I had wrote when I was in high school. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of sour but yet sweet, where someone stole my book of poems. And I figured, wow, who would steal my book of poems? But apparently they enjoyed them.
Oh, yeah.
But I started writing poetry, and then I stopped, and I joined the military. Mm-hmm. And then as my military career started to wind down, my writing for poetry got rekindled. So I started writing again. And from that, exploded once I retired. Of course, I had a lot more time, so I wrote more poetry. I wrote my first book about over 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And what inspired me to write that first book was I used to write poetry and share it with coworkers. And I used to get the comments, wow, this is really good. You ought to write a book. And of course, I kind of blew it off, nah. But they kept after me saying, you really need to write a book. So I said, okay. So I wrote the first book of poetry, and it really blessed me because in the workplace after that, all my coworkers bought all the books, so it was very encouraging. So after that, I said, well, now I'm a published author. And then the Lord spoke to my heart and said, this is just the beginning. And I was like, what? He said, just the beginning. So like 9 books later, and I'm working on one now I'm doing a final edit of, And most of my poetry is inspirational type poetry. And Lord knows we need inspiration in the days we live because there's so much negativity and so much discouragement. We need positive words that can lift. And it's not our words, it's actually God's words.
Yes.
The God's words are the words that have power. So by sharing God's word in poetry, in music, it impacts lives. And over the years, I've seen the actual impact of words, in people's lives, and speaking God's word in people's lives. It can bring major changes. But that's how it all started. So like I said, I've been writing poetry, and Round Rock Library started about, it's been about 5 years. 5 years now. And actually Nadine, she actually started it. She contacted the library, and they wanted to do the poetry. So then she contacted me and said, "Hey, you want to co-host this?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" So anyhow, it's been about 5 years. We've been doing it for about 5 years now, and we've had a blast. And we're so grateful for the new Round Rock Library. They give us access to their new facility. It's a great facility. Encourage everybody to come out and check us out. We're here every other month, Poetry in Motion. It's always fun. You never know who's going to show up. So just come prepared to enjoy yourself and have a great time.
Well, thank you. And how can we get a hold of your material? Is it on Amazon or?
Yes, on Amazon. My pen name is, of course, E.B. Staples. So if you Google E.B. Staples, you'll see the several books I've written. I've written poetry books. I've written children's books. And my latest book that I'm doing a final edit of right now is called About Emotions. The truth about emotions is what you feel real. I had put it out, but then the Lord let me know that I wasn't done, so I had to go back and do some editing of it and revising it, and now the book is twice the size it was when I initially originally put the book out. So anyhow, hopefully next year that book will be out. It's called The Truth About Emotions is What You Feel Real.
Well, you guys heard it. That was, of course, none other than Mr. E.B. Staples, one of the best authors. I'm so privileged to have met him here in Austin. I see a lot of authors online, but it's rare that you get to see them in the flesh. So thank you so much for giving us some of your time.
All right. God bless you guys. And once again, check us out here at Round Rock Library, Poetry in Motions. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for being a guest on Bring It in the House. He is so cheerful. I really enjoyed the interview, and it was a lot of different types of entertainment. You're going to check this out. We had a performer that was singing a song about Round Rock. I thought it was pretty cool. So we'll play a little snippet of that right here on Bring It in the House. Check this out. Poetry in Motion. This is indeed. Only in Texas, right? Only in Austin area here. It was a great event. I enjoyed it. And like I said, I got a chance to speak with of course, had the interview with Mr. E.B. Staples. Now we're going to check out a poem by an older gentleman. I believe he said he was in his 80s, guys, and he's still rhyming and making poems. I didn't get his name, but let's check it out. I thought this was amazing. Oh my goodness.
And after I came up with it and joined the club, gave him my first impression of Ernie, they let me join the club. So anyway, Ernie is one of my predominant characters in my Hayward Children's show. And every time I go and do a show, I try to do something different with Ernie because he experiences many, many different things in life. So I wrote this poem, and I was thinking about some of the things that apply to myself. So this one is one of my favorite, I would say. And it talks about myself. But anyway, it kind of goes like this. Well, here I am, old Ernie again, trying my wife Mary, because she says at night, I really do snore.
Yeah.
I keep telling her over and over, it's the medicines that I have to take, and it's not my fault because my snoring is what keeping her awake. I've got some problems that keeps me awake at night. I have to get up about every 4 hours to use the restroom, and I know that ain't right. My sleeping patterns are all messed up. And sometimes I get up because I have to go pee. I stumble, almost fall into the floor, which really scares the heck out of me. I go back to bed and try going back to sleep. Close my eyeballs, but they don't stay closed. Then my mind starts wandering all over the place, to places only heaven knows. My peers say the older we get, the less sleep we need. And if I say to them they're full of crap, they might never speak to me again. But that's okay, I think I can live with that. You know, what if I listen to my wife and friends about what they say, or if it's really true, I don't think I would still be here today. My whole attitude about life would be affected too. Many others have never made it quite this far. To the age of 80 and do things I'm able to do. I'm so thankful and wonderfully blessed. The Lord has been good to me, and I hope He's been good to you too. I don't complain about the negative things in my life that try to affect my quality of life. I'm too busy thinking about my blessings and thankful to many for their advice. Yes, I got some wrinkles and some aches and pains as well. Some mornings when I wake up, my back feels kind of sore. So I get up and sit on the side of the bed for a minute or two, get my composure, then I'll put my feet on the floor. We are all given 1,440 minutes each and every day. We're also given 24/7. What we do with is up to each one of us you can see. So I'd rather spend my time not complaining at all. Would you believe when I smile, people smile back at me? So here's a little song I wrote. I didn't write it. Written by Louis Armstrong. It goes like this. Now I'm not a singer, but here it goes like this. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, yes, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring out the rain. So stop your sighing, be happy again. When you're smiling, the world will smile with you. How about that?
Wow.
Oh, he is such a nice gentleman. Yes, indeed. And we have more. And we want you to check out and watch this interview with Miss Nadine Flowers. She was a co-host. Well, she's actually the organizer. So let's go to Nadine and check out the interview. Such a sweet lady. Love it. Everyone, it's Millie Mills with Bringing in the House podcast show. I'm honored to be here at Poetry in Motion. I got a chance today to speak with Nadine Flowers. She's one of the poets, and I got a chance to hear some of it. And we got some clips that you're going to get a chance to see. I'm going to turn the camera around so we can talk to Nadine here.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. So Nadine, just tell everyone a little bit about you, how you got started with poetry. How did all this come about for you?
Well, this was years ago. It was not my intention to write poetry. It started out as a hobby. My children were small, and my youngest daughter kind of inspired me because she would follow me all around. And I wrote a poem called My Shadow. And it started from there. I started writing poems for different people as I was inspired. And that's how it got started. Once I started getting involved in church, I wrote poems for people, my pastor. I just was writing. People started asking me to write. And I just believe this is the gift God gave me, is the divine connection.
Yes,
so that's how I got started.
Yes. Have you published? You published any of your poems?
I have published 4 books.
Oh, and we can find it on like Amazon.
On Amazon,
Yeah,
yes.
and all of those. Okay. And what are some of those titles so we'll know what to look for?
In him I live. Treasures from My Heart was the first book that I wrote, and it was a collection of all the poems that I had written. And then I wrote Loving God Through Poetry, which is a devotional. And then I wrote Living the Word Through Poetry. And then the last book that I wrote, it was dedicated to my daughters. I have 2 daughters, so I dedicated to them. And it was called Love Notes from Mom, Treasures from My, Love Notes from Mom. And so it talked about my journey as a mother, how I prayed for my children. And so the way it came out was I wrote the poems. I didn't really write any poem. One poem in the book I wrote. The other part of the book, the beginning, talks about how I felt when I was praying for my daughters, and how I felt when they went off to school. And then the last part of the book is taken from like Proverbs, where it's life lessons. It's called Life Lessons. So I feel like it's not only for my daughters, it's for any mother. So that's the last book I've written. I'm working on another one, but it's just taking me a little while to get through it.
All right. That's so interesting. Oh, right. Yeah, I was getting like snippets of the interview because I didn't want the file to be too long. Let's check out part 2 of that interview with Nadine. Nadine Flowers, everyone, author and poet in Austin, Texas. Amazing lady. So amazing. Okay, guys, so in case you're just tuning in, we're here at Poetry in Motion in Round Rock at the Public Library. If you hear some background noise in the back, that's because there's other events going on here today. But I am here in particularly to see Mr. E.B. Staples and Miss Nadine Flowers. They've been so sweet, and thank you guys so much for having me out here today. How does this feel for you, Nadine?
Well, I'm excited. This is a first for me. It's like I enjoy doing poetry, but I believe that God opens doors for you. I never thought I'd be here at the Round Rock Library doing poetry. They sponsor us, so that's a blessing. And so we can reach different people and be a blessing to people, and that's what we're supposed to do, be a blessing.
That's right. That is so true. It's all about being a blessing. We're gonna go back in so we can enjoy more of the Poetry in Motion. We're gonna talk to Mr. E.B. Staples shortly. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yeah, I really had a good time today. I can't say it enough times because I stumbled across some genuine, talent, and this is called inspirational poetry. That's inspirational, spiritual poetry, and it really uplifts you. So if you're ever in the Austin area, you love poetry, you don't want to miss out on some good inspirational poetry from Mr. E.B. Staples and Miss Nadine Flowers. And you can get their books available right there on Amazon. You don't want to miss out. This was an event. It took place at the Round Rock Public Library, a suburb of Austin. And we have another clip that I wanted to share with you guys. Another guest. She did a gospel solo, and it was so beautiful. I just had to record it, and we're going to take a listen to it. Just good old fashioned talent.
Cross of Calvary, the Lord was crucified. The crowd gathered all around him, and then they mocked him till he died. There were 2 thieves beside him, just to share the agony. Then one of them cried out to him, "Oh, please remember me." And what a shame to kill him there on that rugged cross. But such a death would Will the Lord remember me when I am called to go? And when I cross that chilly sea, will he his love still show? Oh, yes, he heard my feeble cry, from bondage set me free. And when I reach that pearly gate, he will remember me. That's all I'm gonna do.
Oh, I love it. I love her voice. Very strong, beautiful voice. And I grew up, Baptist. Yeah, and a small town where you heard that type of, you know, that rich voice and worship on Sundays, and I just had to get that, capture some footage from there. I also have another poem. It's a nice Mother's Day poem that I got to get on here. Nadine, an amazing poem that she wrote. I believe it was in honor of Mother's Day. So let's take a look or listen to that as well. I love it.
Is Mother's Day is coming, so this would be a good gift to give mothers. And the card looks like this. You can put it in a frame. So I have some over here on the table. But amazing woman, there's a gift in you, a gift that's unique only to you. In case you don't know or realize, that gift in you, God placed inside. You have a purpose to fulfill, a destiny to meet, an appointment to keep. You are God's special creation, the vessel he uses to bring forth life, embodied with strength and determination. You are his chosen to change the world. History will tell you you're an amazing girl. You have power to change a life, to turn someone's darkness into light. But what can I do, you might say? Don't think for a minute you don't have what it takes. God created you to do something great. All you need is confidence and faith. He has a purpose, he has a plan. And if he says it is so, then oh yes, you can. An act of kindness, a show of love, is something the world is in need of. There's someone who needs what you have, a special gift that comes only from you. Not for yourself, but to give away. You have a purpose to fulfill. Amazing woman, there's no one like you. And I am here to let you know it's time to rise, so let it flow. No one can do what you can do. Amazing woman, you have a purpose to fulfill.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful. Nadine Flowers, Austin poet and author, and published books all on Amazon, wherever books are sold. I just thank you guys so much for tuning in. My cousin, thank you so much. It'd be great if you relocate, that you come to Austin and hang out with me. Thank you also, Raymond Coates, and everyone who tuned in tonight. This was a great time for me because it's been a minute since I've been live. I just want to make sure that I covered all the footage that I was able to capture today while I was there at the Austin Public Library. I may have missed one, not sure, but time is expired, so I didn't get a chance to get everybody in maybe, but thank you so much for tuning in. It was fun. Mr. E.B. Staples and Miss Nadine Flowers, thank you guys so much for having us out, and I'll see you back here next week. Maybe, I don't know, we might do a special feature. I'm not sure yet, but we just thank you for tuning in. Thanks again for Ramil for the hairstyle. That was my daughter. Thank you so much. Just thank everyone and be safe out there. See you next time. Bring it in the house.